Hello everybody, I'm Brainy Diode and I am back with another episode of Nier Automata. Last time we joined 9S as he explored and started looking for the keys to enter the tower, and this time we're going to be playing as A2, and we don't quite know what she wants to do yet, but hopefully we'll be able to figure that out soon enough. For some reason, why did I fire the pod program in that direction?
Unit A2 should state her intentions.
What did I just say?
If an attending support unit is not provided with data related to the activity of its target, it is programmed to automatically repeat the request every 30 seconds until such data is made available.
Are you kidding me?
Proposal: Unit A2 should state her intentions. Needlessly repeating conversations on the same topic is a waste of energy resources.
You're the one who keeps talking.
So for some reason, this game is being needlessly difficult to work with today. This is my third attempt in the past 10 minutes, well, closer to 15 now, to actually record this video, and for some reason, technology just does not want to work with me today. So, if anything is weird or unusual about this video, I apologize in advance. I'll do my best to make it consistent with the rest of the series, but I can't promise anything this time, unfortunately.
30 seconds have passed. Proposal: Unit A2 should state her intentions.
Damn it, stop! My intention is to beat the hell out of every goddamn machine I can find. Is that enough for you?
Affirmative. Scanning and marking of nearby machine lifeforms complete. Goliath-class enemies detected in desert area. Proposal: Goliath-class enemies should be destroyed.
Don't tell me what to do.
Pods are not authorized to issue commands. Proposals are merely recommendations based on data provided by Unit A2. Proposal: Unit A2 should state updated intentions in order to secure more usable data.
Shut the hell up!
Negative. This pod is engaging in activity based on the final order of Unit 2B. Yorha Unit A2 lacks the authority to issue commands.
Look, just stay on my way.
Affirmative.
So, I just want to say that I did not actually mean to attack that moose, but, oftentimes in this game, animals can actually be more dangerous than machines. So, I mean, once I started fighting it, I figured I might as well finish fighting it, because if I was trying to fight these other machines and still dealing with the moose at the same time, trust me, things probably would not have ended well. I also didn't mean to assault Emil, but honestly I'm less upset about accidentally doing that. Don't let Emil hear me say that. Alright, so what we want to do next, it was a little bit unclear from all that just now, but what we want to do next is we do want to go take out the Goliath unit in the desert. It is a rather difficult fight, so what I'm going to do is I am going to show off the grinding area that I've been mentioning, because that is going to be on the way to that Goliath unit. I'm going to show off the grinding area that I've been mentioning, and then I am going to attempt to fight the Goliath unit in the desert. And if I can beat the Goliath unit, then we're all good. If not, I'll probably do a little bit of grinding in the grinding area that I mentioned off screen, and then go back and attempt to take out the Goliath unit afterwards once I come back. So that's the plan for this episode. Also, there is a special gameplay power that A2 has that apparently makes that boss fight easier. Last time I played through the game, I was unable to figure out how to actually turn that power on. So, hopefully that will go a little bit better for me this time. It would be nice if I could actually figure out how to use that, because, like I said, that fight can be pretty difficult. Oh my goodness, Emil, you're so loud. I don't want to buy anything from you right now, Emil. I just want to kill this Goliath unit, please. Okay, apparently that got him to leave. Somehow. We're almost there. There we go. I didn't even break his main armor. So you will notice now that these enemies that were... You will notice that Emil is back, and that these enemies we're fighting are even tougher than... Or we're even... There's even more of a level disparity now than there was before. That's why the grinding area that I'm about to show off is not a bad spot to go to in the very near future. But before we do that, I am going to run through here, because one, there are plenty of machines that I can fight in here, and two, oh, they're even lower leveled than the machines out in the entrance to the desert area. And two, this is where the enemies that drop the auto-use item chips are. And although these aren't actually those enemies, I might as well see if I can fight some of those enemies to see if I can get that chip, because I did lose it, and I would like to get it back if I can. So I'm gonna see if I can do that. And who knows, maybe we'll get a level up along the way that'll put us just at the right point we need to defeat the Goliath unit. Probably not, but... Do I not have the experience meter anymore? I haven't been seeing it. Oh, no, there it is. It's just been going away when I'm looking at it. I really remembered it sticking around for longer than that, but I guess I'm just remembering incorrectly. Unfortunately, the problem with... Ooh, what are you? What on earth is it? Oh, jeez. It's attacking me, is what it is. I believe you can actually go to the resistance camp as A2. So... we might be able to go get the, go increase the number of chips we can hold, but I don't really want to go that far out of my way at the moment. I am just going to have to pick out a chip or two to unequip to make room for the auto-use items. Ow! Wow, I forgot about this enemy. What is even this thing? Ooh, it's strong, is what it is. I think I already said something very similar to that just a couple seconds ago, but, you know. I do still not have auto-use items, but I just... Yep, I'm healing again, so that's a good thing. One thing, one chip I definitely won't want to take off is the auto-heal chip. I'm leaving that on. I could probably take off some melee up or some ranged attack up to make room for the auto-use items. I mean, it'll make battles go a little bit slower, but I don't think I'll miss them too much. Okay, where are the enemies that drop the auto-use item chip? I know they're around here somewhere. They're the big tall ones with no arms. The totem pole looking guys. You know what I'm talking about, right? This is one of the runs where I had to go back and get the auto-use item chip after I'd lost it, right? I'm fairly certain I did that during this run. Or maybe I didn't. But either way, I know we came by here and I know we saw some, that's not the button I meant to press, but it worked. I know we saw those totem pole guys. The big tall ones with no arms. I know they exist. They're somewhere. Thought that was a machine for a second there. the legs, the supports for the pipe. Okay, where are the totem pole dudes? Are you? You're not totem pole dudes. Ah, there's one of the no arm dudes. Yes. Maybe he'll have an auto use item chip for me. I mean, honestly, I haven't been doing too terribly without it. It's just a little convenience that makes my life just that much easier. Okay, game. I know the targeting system hates me, but can it hate me a little less for the next couple seconds? Alright, so it looks like Totem Pole Dude did not drop an auto-use item chip, which is upsetting, to say the least. I do want this money, I do want these items, so that if I need to sell them for money later, I can. Alright, I'm gonna take a break from looking for Totem Pole Dudes, and just go fight the Goliath unit already. Well, first I'll show off the grinding area, and then I'll go fight the Goliath unit. Honestly, I really should be quick traveling at this point, because I am now remembering that the grinding spot is a lot further away than I was thinking it was for some reason. Why did I think it was so much closer than it is? I actually don't remember where the nearest access point is when we get into the main desert area. I believe it's over in this direction. I think this is... Yeah, if I go to the Oasis, I believe that's an area that I haven't actually shown off before. I think it's called the Oasis, at least. So hey, there's another thing we get to do in this video. Look at a new area. How nice is that? Yep, there is the signal for an access point, so we are very close. And here's the Oasis. And we can beat up these guys, still very low leveled, much too... Ooh, there's still another guy. I did not realize there was another dude there. So here's the access point in the Oasis. We got some map information. And let's go on ahead to the Desert Housing Complex. And you will know why in just a moment. Good old loading screen, everyone's favorite part of every video game. There we go. And we are headed this way. It's been a while since we've had to come to this area. I would not blame you for forgetting the layout like I am sort of doing. But just over here, the map in this area is just a little bit bizarre. Do I want to take out these enemies? Yeah, I'll fight them. I can get level ups or something, hopefully. I can get items to pick up to sell later on. I can get money. Yeah, I'll fight these enemies. I mean, I'm already, like, knee-deep in them. Dudes trying to kill me, my favorite thing to be knee-deep in. Okay, okay. Yeah, even though I talked about how a lot of enemies aren't too threatening, yeah, we're at a point in the game where we do want to be closer in level to the enemies than I have been. Especially for the boss that's about to come up. Like I said, it can be pretty tough if you don't know what to expect. And even if you do know what to expect, it's, whew. let me just tell you, if you thought targeting has been weird so far, this boss is not going to make you reevaluate your opinion of the targeting system, especially if you haven't liked it so far. That's all I'm going to say about it for now. We'll be seeing it soon enough. Just as soon as I go ahead and get to this grinding area, I'm sure you might have an idea of where it is already, just based on where I'm going. But when we were first here, I tried to show off what would happen if you went back into this area. Once you left it, there was some stuff to get. I have a quiet max HP up. Nice, nice. So, you can go back into this area now, unlike right after the boss fight happens. And if you do, I believe you cannot jump straight down into the pit. And if you do go in here, there are lots of enemies. And the nice thing about these enemies is they're all in the high 30s as far as levels go. You'll notice there are a couple Goliath units. So there's a ton of enemies in here now, all in the late 30s, which is, you know, lower than we are, lower than a lot of the enemies we've been fighting lately. So this is, these enemies aren't too tough to take out. They are all infinitely respawning, even the Goliath units. It doesn't necessarily... Oh, well, now it looks like it. I was about to say that it doesn't necessarily look like it, but that's because just a lot of them, they take a while to respawn, but they are infinitely respawning. So you can get a bunch of... experience down here, you can get a bunch of money down here, you can get items down here that even if you don't actually want to use, you can eventually sell for money if you need more, which we will need a lot of money for the one ending that I've referenced a couple times, us needing a lot of money for. The one problem is it does have a lot of those bomb robots, or the bomb machines, that I really don't care for. But the bomb machines are easy enough to see, or rather hear coming. Just if you hear those screams, know that the bomb machines are on their way. I mean, I would be screaming too if I suddenly poofed into existence, knowing that my only purpose in life is to kill myself. That got really dark, and I think I might have even made that joke before in this series. Give me a break. It was like several months ago that I was last in the desert. I am not going to remember everything about what I've done in this game. This series has gone on far too long because I am really not able to record enough episodes to make daily uploads, or record episodes fast enough to make daily uploads. So, yeah, any Let's Plays I do will likely drag on forever and ever and ever. But, you know, it comes with the territory of being a college student and trying to have a life outside of being a college student at the same time. So, this is the grinding spot, as I just said, and now that I've shown it off, I was about to say I'll cut away and go to the boss fight and just show you that, but I suppose I should show you how to actually get out of this grindy area first. And you have to go over towards where you entered, not get killed, and come back up here. I do believe, is this not the... Okay. Well, this is one way out. I believe you can go out either this way or the way you originally entered. The machines follow you a lot further than I remember them following you, but luckily, since they are such low levels, we can pretty easily take them out. How is it getting near me? Okay, well, we're gonna ignore that for now. So, Yeah, here's how we got out of it back when we fought Adam for the first time. And we can just follow this route back up to an access point that'll teleport us to somewhere where we can get to the boss fight more easily. And remember, you do want to leave that area, because remember, if you die, you lose all of your experience and any items you picked up, and you lose your chip setup, and that does not change in that grindy area. So it would really suck to grind there for a while and then die accidentally and lose all your progress of the grinding you just did. Now, granted, you can go down there and recover your old body, but if you do that, I mean, then you're surrounded by all of the machines that just killed you again. And that's not a fun time. It can be tough to actually get your body back, get your chip set up back. Trust me, I've been there. It's not super fun to have to deal with. So we're not going to deal with that. Instead, we are going to... Okay, well, this will either get me to... I don't actually want to go to an access point right now. I think it might actually be quicker at this point to just go this way. Actually, it's probably a little bit slower, but... Yeah, coming out of that... Coming out of the little pit area in that direction just always gets my directions mixed up. I'm not really sure why, but... Probably would have been quicker to go to the access point at the entrance to the desert. And then is this, that's the area where Jack was. I just wanted to see if there was, looked like there was a chest there, but it was just some files, it looked like. So now we want to get back to the desert area proper. And fight the Goliath unit. Goliath units. The pod did specify multiple Goliath units, so that is not a spoiler. I don't know why I care about spoilers so much. It's really not a big deal. Okay, so that red spot there that you can see on the upper left-hand corner of the minimap is not actually where we're going. I'm just remembering that now. That's actually for a side quest that I'm not going to bother with right now. The actual fight that we want to do at the moment is a lot further into the desert. So let's head on in that direction. I think I'm going to make this episode a little bit longer because I at least want to fight the boss, because I feel like so far, other than showing off that grindy spot, I haven't really actually done anything this episode. And I kind of want to feel like I'm making at least some progress in the episode. So, yeah, go along with my silly whims of deciding to make this episode a little bit on the long side. Not that you have a particularly big choice, but yeah, to go along with it. I humbly request and demand that you do so. Yes, you heard me right. I both request and demand. So, here are the Goliath units that the pod mentioned. I got stuck in a laser beam. So there are 3 of them. They are they all level 48? I think they are all level 48. They have funky flippy power things that I don't... Have we seen before? Yeah, I guess the Goliath unit we fought in the forest was able to do the little transformation thing like this. So they have shockwaves that are annoying to deal with. Hope I'm gonna have enough recoveries for this. Something that makes the shockwave attacks slightly less of an annoyance to deal with is that there's a lot of weirdly multi-level terrain in the desert, which makes it sometimes easier than other times to go over or under the go over or under the shockwaves. Now, you'll notice that only some of the Goliath units, typically only one at a time, will actually attack you at once, which makes this section a little bit easier, especially since I can just wail on one of the ones that's not even attacking me currently. The only big problem here is that... Oh, wait, is it going to attack me now? The only big problem here is that, especially since we are a little bit under-leveled, these fights can take a bit of a while. We got one of them down, so only 2 to go. Are any of them going to attack me? Okay, this one's actually getting ready to attack me. I think the other one might be. Yep, they're both going to attack me now. Okay. I mean, I did get off easy with that one. That's fair. I can't really fault the game here. I mean, if the game just lets me kill one of them while all 3 of them just stand still and do nothing, then yeah, the game really should be challenging me a bit more with the other 2, so I'm not going to complain. Except now they're just standing still again. I mean, once again, I'm not going to complain. I do like easier boss fights sometimes. These guys can be a little bit of a pain to deal with. Overall, I mean, obviously they're not putting up too much of a fight this time. It's really not usually this easy. I might just be higher level than I usually am, but I swear they do not usually do the thing where they just stop attacking you for a while. I mean, like, usually they will, but not all 3 of them at the same time. That's something really unusual. I mean, usually, at the very least, the one that I'm currently fighting will usually do something to me.
So much for Goliath class. That was over before it started.
Negative. Enemy machines remain in the area.
What the hell is that?
It appears to be a machine life form that has adapted to the desert environment. Proposal: destroy the enemy machine.
Yeah, that's real helpful.
Alright, so here's the boss I was mentioning, and here is it doing its really weird thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is...
Time to bust out B mode.
Alert. The use of B mode to increase nuclear fusion output carries unacceptable levels of risk. Any offensive boost is offset by lower defense and increased maintenance costs. The feature was removed from newer models for this reason.
Guess it's too bad I'm not a newer model.
Alright, so it looks like to activate Berserker mode, we press in both sticks at once. Looks like we need to hold them pressed in, which I have not been doing. So as I was saying, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This is my least favorite boss fight in the game. I really can't stand this thing. It's all over the place. There's so many different parts of it to keep track of at once. It's kind of a nightmare. They're all attacking at once.
Such as the Yorha A2 are not equipped with ranged weaponry. Proposal: Unit A2 should take advantage of her support pod, which is equipped with helpful long-range attack features.
Don't patronize me.
Alright, so here I am in Berserker mode. It does lower your health. It lowers your health really fast. I'm gonna leave Berserker mode. Crap, crap, crap. Let me use my items, please. Ooh, this is... Okay, so I'm reminded of why Berserker mode is not the greatest thing in the world. what am I actually... What advantage am I even getting from this? Like... Is it even doing... It really does not appear to be doing anything for me. So, from my understanding, Berserker mode is really intended to be used exclusively for this boss fight. Like, this one specific boss fight is basically the intent of Berserker mode. And, I mean, I think it's supposed to have some thematic relevance, but why on earth would you have a new power for one boss fight? Not only that, why would you design a boss fight that basically relies on the player using this, honestly, not all that great power to actually beat? I'm sure there's some deeper significance behind this boss that I'm missing, but I just really hate the dang thing. I really do. This fight is just a really big stain on the otherwise incredible Route C, in my opinion. It's just... I'm sorry, I don't want to be just negative this whole episode, but... I'm really struggling to find something good to say about this boss. I'm so sorry. And it's really hard to do anything about it close range because you have to be dodging all the time to not get hit. I'm just spamming the dodge button as quick as I can. It's impossible to tell what's going on. There's this invisible barrier that I keep running up against. It's driving me crazy. And taking this thing out with ranged weaponry takes such a long time. Just this whole boss fight is... I hate it. I really hate this boss fight. It's my least favorite part of the game. I know the first time I played this game, it took me a good 4 or 5 tries to beat this boss. When I eventually did wind up beating it, it was only after I spent a couple hours in that grinding area that I mentioned. So I figure that experience might give you a bit more insight to why I hate this boss so much. It looks like one of the components I've nearly managed to take out. If you do manage to take out individual components, I believe they do leave, which makes dealing with the rest of the components a little bit easier, but on the whole, it's just... There's so many of them that you'd really have to take out a lot to make it significant. The camera is going crazy. Like, I really genuinely cannot tell what's going on at any point when you're fighting the multiple units at the same time. If you get hit, you're basically stun locked until the bigger unit reforms. And look, like, we've been fighting this boss for a fair amount of time, and it's only, like, it's still got like a third of its health left, and it's just the same gameplay loop. I'm gonna try not to harp on this boss so much. I mean, it hurts too, because even the boss's concept as a whole is really not terrible. I think it's actually not a bad it's a pretty interesting concept that took entirely too many tries to say. I like the concept of this boss. I really do. I don't think this was the game to execute it in. I don't think it's easy or even possible to execute this concept well in a 3D game. I think this would be crap! Oh, okay. Okay. I was pretty close to beating the boss that time. I was pretty close. So I think what I'm gonna do is take another stab at it. And hopefully be able to take it out properly this time. And if I can, I'll skip to the end of boss fight. And if not, then I'll go grind for a while. And then fight the boss again. And then skip to the end of the boss fight. So, I'll see you guys after a while. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and jump back in here. I've gotten pretty close to taking this guy out, I think. At one point, a couple of random enemies from outside of the boss arena showed up and started attacking me. So that was fun. But they're gone now. So just keep in mind that you may get company in case this boss wasn't bad enough for you already. Alright, I shouldn't assume that everyone hates this boss as much as I do. I know it's not necessarily going to be a universal opinion that this boss is terrible, but I gotta be honest, I really struggle to see what good anyone would see in this boss. Alright, just got this one guy left. We are so close. Why did I not use my pod program there? Alright, so the pods, or not the pods, the components that you beat do sit around with those weird glass things around them, like you've probably seen in the background a couple times after you defeat them. Oh, thank goodness!
Alert. Oncoming EMP attack detected. Escape recommended.
Where am I?
The EMP attack appears to have caused hacking damage to Unit A2's memory modules.
So this is my memory area. But why are you here?
Support units are required to monitor our target's internal systems in case of breakdown.
Next time, ask me before you go poking around in my head.
If I die during this hacking segment, I better not have to fight that boss again. Now, the optimal thing to do would just be to not die, which is what I'm going to attempt to do.
What's all this about?
The hacking has caused the enemy's memories to merge with your own.
So, it seems that A2 is just becoming an amalgam of a bunch of different memories. I mean, she's got her own memories as well as 2B's and now this desert units. Getting a little weird.
Normally you'd be called, but we'll be calling you 2B. Continue to observe the situation and dispatch them.
This is a fragment of Unit 2B's memory data. It is an order she received from the Yorha commander when she was still alive.
So, something interesting that you can pick up there. 2B is not actually her name.
A2 for self.
Shut up and get out of my head already.
So, Yorha units, the letter designation, or the letter part of their designation, has to do with their function in Yorha itself. S's are scanners, O's are operators. Presumably B stands for battle. They're the typical combat units.
You and I are the same. We have no one to help us. We can only cry and scream.
Shut up!
Just shut up.
So, as I was saying, 2B is not her actual name. In fact, she's not a B unit at all.
153, commencing data sharing.
So keep that in mind for
Launching
the future.
compressed conversation mode. Compressed conversation mode complete. Affirmative. Awaiting report on the effects of Unit 2B's memory data on Unit A2's self-consciousness.
Understood. Updating as reference data for support activity.
So, I goofed up and made a silly decision earlier. Truth be told, A2's gameplay segments for the next little bit. I believe there's 2 gameplay segments for each of the 2 units at this point, so we've already seen the first gameplay segment of each unit. I goofed up. A2's story actually happens just slightly before 9S's story in each corresponding gameplay segment. So each respective gameplay segment, A2's happened slightly before 9S's. So how I really should have done it was A2 9S, A2 9S, but I started 9S A2, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is take care of A2's next gameplay segment now, and go check on 9S after that. So hopefully you don't mind seeing A2 twice in a row, but that's what's going to happen. It appears that A2's memory region has combined with 2B's data. Currently monitoring progress. To analyze effect. Hold Pod 042. Issue detected in your conversational functionality. Numerous machine lifeforms whose network functions were destroyed remain out of control. Please take caution. Affirmative.
Good morning, A2.
What the?
Analysis. Yorha Unit A2 was restarted 5 minutes and 42 seconds ago. The cause was excessive strain due to battle against a large machine lifeform.
All this goddamn sand is starting to piss me off.
Alert. Fuel filter performance deteriorating. Fine particulate matter seems to have entered the filter while fighting in the desert. Proposal. Replace the faulty part immediately.
You make it sound so easy.
Records indicate said part was once used at the resistance camp.
The resistance camp.
So, next time on Nier Automata, we're going to take A2 to the resistance camp to try to get that filter replaced. I will see you then.